Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond and an unplanned empties video. Yeah, I made the effort to put my makeup on today, just trying to use up some of my my Project Pan items, and really I've got a day off with not much else to do. I thought I would just, yeah, film this because the basket is starting to overflow, and thought, yeah, why not? Very randomly, I'm just going to pull items out and let you know whether they're being decluttered or whether they've been used up. And I apologize for the lighting, but with my glasses on, the reflection from the ring light was just too bad. I have a few lipsticks to show you as well. I'm slowly working through organizing my lipsticks into color groups and sort of sub color groups as well, just so I can compare a lot easier to try and reduce the number of lipsticks I have in my collection and keep ones, even if they're similar in color. I want to try and narrow it down to keep my more favorite formulas because I don't need 10 lipsticks of any given shade. Get into that another time, but there were some lippies in there that were instant declutters purely because they have just dried up, and I'm not even going to bother reviving them because I have so many lippies in my collection already. It just seemed silly. I am a little sad that some of these are going because I did really like the colors when I first got them. Purely my fault for having such a large collection and not look, I have some liquid lipsticks that have survived really, really well, may even possibly be older than these ones and haven't dried up. So yeah, it's a lot of money down the drain for nothing, but lesson learned, I will not buy any from this brand again. Not because I don't like them or they're not good quality or anything, but just because obviously they've dried up quicker than others in my collection, and I would have to pretty much have no lippies left, or it would have to be an extremely unique shade, and wiser me will know that I just can't let it sit there and then I have to actually make the effort to use it. Quite a few Smashbox ones. I'm just going to run through them quickly. I've got the Velado Smashbox, one. There's a few from this particular collection. Here we go. The shade is In Bloom. It's from the Always On Petal Metal Liquid Lipstick collection. So there's that one. Same sort of packaging, gorgeous little rose on top. So there was 3 of those. The other one is in the shade Desert Rose, which is more of a coppery sort of pink. And then the last one in it is Exo Vlada. So yep, they were really, really pretty. Then we have Out Loud, which was a gorgeous orange. But I have so many oranges in my collection. And then we have, what's this one called? Called Blowtorch, another gorgeous shade. Then we have, oh dearie me, Bold Digger, that one's called. So again, more of a copper shade. And then we have Carrot Stick. So you can see they're all mainly sort of more towards the oranges in this collection that I've got. And then I have two of the shade Rust Fund. So unfortunately, yeah, they're all going. So that is 9 just in that particular formula. Then I have 3 from Sugar Pill. I don't even know if I have any left from Sugar Pill at all. So this one's Glint, and that is pretty much the only gold lipstick that I had in my collection. So that's a shame. And then these were a Halloween collection called Trick and Treat. Now, I couldn't, at the time, I don't believe I could get Treat separately. That was the shade I particularly wanted. This was a black with a bit of a gold speckle, which you can see there in the tube. Unfortunately, yeah, both of them are dried up as well. So they're going. And then the last one, I swatched it here on my hand. It's from Profusion and it's called Charm. Now it's a matte liquid lipstick, and it also came with a topper and a lip liner, I believe. But I just, look, I have probably a dozen or so shades already similar to this in my collection, and the formula is quite liquidy, and I really didn't like the actual applicator. It's quite hard to, like, not hard to apply as in difficult, but it is no flexibility at all to the tip of the wand, so, or the doe foot, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so they're going. So what did I say? I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 13 lipsticks already gone. So alrighty, so let's just get into the rest of it. So this is something I just finished up today. It's a Nars Illuminator in the shade Orgasm. I got this as a free sample, I believe, and you need the tiniest bit. It's not very opaque to apply, but what I found was that if I put it over the top of my foundation under where I was going to put my blush, it just sort of put a little bit of colour back in your cheeks and gave you a nice glow. And I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase it again, but if I did get another free sample, I definitely would use it. It was also really nice if you just wanted a more natural look, you're using a CC cream and didn't want to put blush and everything on. Yeah, just instead of being very uniform in colour on your face, it just added a bit of colour back into your cheeks. So yeah, that was something that I used up. Now this is something I'm going to see if I can pass on to one of the kids or their partners. I just don't use them. I don't know that they do work, but not exceptionally, and I just don't get the breakouts anymore, thank goodness, now that I'm on the skin medication. So yeah, I figured this pointless just sitting in my drawer, so I'm going to get rid of that one. This is the Olaplex Hair Perfector number 3. I was put onto this by Jen, and I wanted to give it a go. I think it was like 50 Australian dollars just for that size bottle. You're supposed to use it, I think, up to two to 3 times a week. Now, I only wash my hair once a week. And so you'd think, yeah, it would last a while, but it doesn't, because you're actually supposed to put a fairly generous amount in your hair. It's more like a treatment pre-shampoo. And because I just put a bit of a curl activator and scrunch my hair up, you really couldn't see whether or not it was making a difference to my hair or not, and I just figured for the price it just wasn't worth continuing on with. So yeah, but I used it up anyway. So, and it did make my hair very, very soft prior to shampooing it. It felt really good. So from my Project Pan, this is one of my faves, and so that's already gone up, so there's no spoilers here. I said I'd finished this perfume. It's the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Oh Intense. Absolutely love it. Very unisex scent, quite lemony, and yeah, very fresh, and love it for summer. So at some point I will probably purchase that again. This is another one. This is from Fourth Ray, which is a sister company of Colourpop. It's called Later Hater. So the treatment, I think, I can't think of the name of him now. Anyway, there's another brand. If I ever needed this again, which I don't think I would, I know I can source this within Australia for a very similar price. Oh, bit of a frog in my throat. So yeah, I'll see again if one of the kids wants that or not. I made my way through a whole heap of samples. I'm sort of on a bit of a mission, trying to use samples up. This was my favorite eye gel. It's in the pump pack, which I really, really like. Not so fussed on having to stick my fingers inside tubs or, you know, spatulas, and then having to keep the spatulas clean. I just much prefer this, and I do believe that this is probably the best for me eye cream that I have ever used. So definitely will be a repurchase. I'm down to the last eye cream in my collection at the moment, which is I'd won in a giveaway. So I'm going to work my way through that, and closer to needing a replacement, I'll be buying another one of those for sure. This was another item. It's an oldie from my Project Pan. It's from Soap and Glory, the Flake Away. Just like a body scrub, and I just like a body polish, I should say, same thing. And I just don't use them enough, so I wanted to get it out of my collection. And yeah, it didn't take long because you need a fair bit, and it's only such a small tub, so got rid of that and won't be replacing that one. I have, while I think of it, this is a candle that my daughter bought me for my birthday last year, so I have used that up and I have kept the jar. Really pretty jar. I'm using that for my eyeshadow brushes that I've got on the go. This was the one from Colourpop. It's the Black Flame candle, so I've used that up completely, and something inside that. Yeah, so that's gone. Of two minds whether or not to keep this just for Halloween, just to pop in a tea light candle or something perhaps, so I'm not too sure. I'll see how I go with that one. Actually, on cold I wasn't fussed on the scent, but when it was burning I actually did like it. So this was a sample perfume I got from, I think it was there's nothing on it. I'm assuming it was from Pretty's For Your Face, from a haul I had recently. Nice soft scent, but yeah, definitely I don't think it was strong enough. Like, it didn't last long enough, so I would not be repurchasing that. I don't know if here we go, here's the bag, I left it inside. It's called Angelic, and it's a body spray. So yeah, I finished that one up. Now we've got Wishful. I really quite liked this. It's from Huda Beauty, I believe. That's where I got the sample from anyway, in a Huda Beauty order. So must be either it's her brand or a brand that she's promoting. I'm actually not too sure because, like I said, I didn't purchase it myself. Now it's called Wishful Honey Balm. Luminosity, visibly smaller pores, hydration, instant smoothness. Apply a small amount to clean skin, gently rub until fully absorbed. I use this at night. It's got lavender, honey, niacinamide and turmeric in it, and yeah, I really liked the scent of that. I think it's more the lavender in there that I liked, so got to use it up. Took me a while actually, even though you can see if I can get it back out. Oh my goodness. Now I'm just dropping everything. As if this video is not going to be long enough as it is. Yeah, so that was it there, and I just dipped into that at night, and mainly used it like more on my chest and neck because it's too rich for my face. So I'm not sure where this came from, to be honest. It's a Murad Invisiscar resurfacing treatment. I don't really have scars on my face. I might have the smallest little ones, but nothing to really work on. So I do have a scar on my arm. It's not really showing up in this light, but it was from having a skin cancer removed. So I decided to try that on that to see if it made any difference. It does say that it takes up to 8 weeks to really notice the difference, and there was not 8 weeks worth of product in there, so it was going to be impossible to see whether or not it fully worked. But for the period of time it did have enough in there, because you needed the tiniest little bit because it's only such a small area. Yeah, even in that time I didn't notice any difference. So right, we have an Antipodes. This is from New Zealand, Glow Ritual Vitamin C Serum. It was gold to apply, so it looked really cool putting on. Apparently the Kakadu plum is one of, like, if not the highest source of vitamin C in the world, and it was one of the ingredients in this. Did not sting whatsoever. It's also got hyaluronic acid in it. It was, well, here you go, it says with Kakadu plum 100 times vitamin C of oranges. So yeah, I'm not going to buy more. It definitely didn't sting like some of the vitamin C serums that you put on. But yeah, it was still nice to use that up, so I'm happy I did that. This I did enjoy. It's the Derma E Vitamin C Gentle Daily Cleansing Paste. It's got golden turmeric, ancient rice, exfoliates and brightens. So this took me a fair while to get through. It kind of reminds me to look at when you get it out. It looks like, so you can still see the bit in there that I can't get out. Like a pink clay mask, but of course it doesn't dry down like a pink clay mask. It is very gently exfoliating, and I did quite like using it, but again, I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase it. I am trying to look for much more affordable skincare options and just try and keep my prices down with those if possible. So another one that was in my project pan is the Cosrx Ultimate Moisturizing Honey Over Night Mask. Again, quite affordable. It is a K-Beauty brand, and I can't get it within Australia, but there are sites that ship to Australia for quite an inexpensive charge, and it is a gel. Even though it says it's an overnight mask, it can just be used like a nighttime moisturizer. So that's what I will probably do once I use up the other moisturizers in my collection, is I'll end up repurchasing that. I do have one that I prefer more, but it's just harder for me to source, and I can only get it through Amazon, shipped from the US, and it just, unless I'm getting a parcel sent over from Andrew, it's just way too expensive for me to source. So next best option as far as preference, but first option in regards to cost. So now Napoleon, it's Napoleon Purdue. I believe it's an Australian brand. I picked this up years ago once the brand started getting ranged in our pharmacies. I loved it, but it's just not me. So it's much more my sister, so I'm going to pass it on to her. So I just don't want the brushes to fall out, but that's the shades inside. So you can see greys, blues, black, white. Probably Naomi from Beauty Dreams with Naomi would like that color story, but it's just not me. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it along because it's just been sitting way too long in my collection, not getting used. So we also have a Core Organics, it says it's a, was it a night AHA resurfacing serum. It's been a little while since I've used some of these. I think I just use that in alternate nights instead of the retinol cream that I use. So a little sachet used up, gone, out of collection. These are Incredipeel. That's Incredipeel Spa Strength Glycolic Resurfacing Pads to smoothen and brighten. So you only get the one use out of it. Heaps of product on these. So it was just a pad like that, but yeah, absolutely soaked in product and only for one use. So I ended up going through a few of those. There's two at least that are sitting in my basket. I think there might be more somewhere. I went on a bit of a experimental journey recently where I had some loose pigments. They were just samples from Mecca. They were MAC pigments, so had little sample pots like that. So I decided to try to press the loose pigment. I've got a binder and alcohol. Unfortunately, there was such a small amount in those tubs that it's really, I believe there's too much binder for the amount of pigment that I had. So they've turned out quite creamy. That's one that I have repressed. Is probably my favorite because of the color. I'll quickly swatch it. So let's see. There you go. So that's a really pretty shade. So I've got a few more there, but yeah, I kind of went on a press loose pigment thing, depot my single compact eyeshadows because I wanted them out. And yeah, so I pulled out these Milani little quads that I had. So them there, so you can see I've taken the shadows out. Silly me decided that, yeah, I would depot them before I even tested the formula. And when I swatched them, I realized they were a cream. And I hate cream eyeshadows on me because of my small mobile lids. It just transfers everywhere, and I just decided, like, as much as they're pretty, that's all of them in the bag there, that yeah, I decided not to keep them. So it was a lot of effort for nothing, but anyway, you live and learn. So this is these are like, this is what I mean by I depotted all of these. So if I remember, I'll take a photo with the magnetic palette that I've got them in. Yeah, I ended up, so these aren't really declutters or empties, but anyway, because I've still got the shadows that were inside. But I guess it was more for me just to, as a reminder for me to let you know that I had done this. Oh, okay. So we've got Teal Me More Encore, yeah, dose of colours. They were quite expensive. They were just sitting there. Again, I wanted them to be in a format that where I would actually reach for them. Shall We Dance was another one. And then Leave Me Alone was another one there. I had a couple from Kat Von D, so I won't worry about telling you the shades, I suppose, but there's 3 of those that I depotted. What else have we got here? So move along. Oh, this is another candle that I used up. Candy Shop, loved the scent, kept the jar. I've got so many of them, I just don't think that I will end up keeping that. So there is another one like that currently in my sink, getting just soaking and washing up. So I've gone through 4 candles since my last declutter, so empties video. All right, what else have we got in here? So that was a Morphe one, another Morphe one. I think there was 3. Yep, so another Morphe one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I depotted 9 MAC shadows. They were the weirdest things to depot. You can see here, they weren't actually in a pan. So that was what was left on the bottom. Inside you can see the waffle pattern there. This one came out, you can see a little bit better. So it's kind of like a plastic waffle that they're sitting on, and yeah, some came out easier than others. And then I have 5 is that? Yeah, so I've got 5 Pat McGrath ones that I depotted, and then I had one from Urban Decay. So like I said, I'll try and make sure I insert a photo of that. So this is my favorite moisturizer I was telling you about. It's a Hada Labo from Tokyo, the skin plumping gel cream. So yeah, this I finished this just, I think, before Andrea shipped over her other one, so you can see that's all gone. Yeah, so I now have 2 more of these in my collection to try and get through. This was not long ago, the Elf Putty Primer. So gone. Took me a while to get through it. Again, I didn't mind it. To me, a primer is a primer is a primer, pretty much. Although now, that said, I'm now trying the Milk Makeup one, and I've realized I don't really like grip primers. So I'm glad I just got a really, really small sample size of that one. But yeah, performed fine. Definitely no issues with it. But just because it's not in a pump pack and I'm having to dig my fingers into it, I would say it's not my favorite. So I'm a long way off ever having to make a decision on whether or not I would repurchase it or not. But I wouldn't sit here and say I definitely wouldn't repurchase it. Considering how affordable it is, I would possibly make that compromise. But yeah, definitely potted ones is not my favorite. This is a shampoo that, it's IGK one, the 1995 2-in-1 shampoo and texturizer. It's got gritty bits in it. Definitely helps texturize at the scalp. It was Hannah Louise Poston that first raved about this. Very expensive. I got it from Sephora. Considering I only wash my hair once a week, this would last me for ages, but I almost had used it up and then I stopped using it, and so I decided I'm just gonna concentrate and finish it up and get it out of my collection, which, like I said, when you do your hair, like wash your hair once a week, it takes forever, but it's finally gone. And no, I would not repurchase it. I just don't think it's worth the expense. I got other products that I prefer for texturizing my hair. So this is another declutter. It's from Tarte. It's a Mermaid Glitter Gel. Pretty chunky, probably really good for the younger ones, going to festivals and things like that, but I will never ever use it. Still really good, very wet still. So yeah, we'll see whether or not one of the girls wants it, but I wouldn't be using it. So it's nice, I guess, if you want to put it on your cheeks. Wouldn't recommend it purely because how chunky it is for eyes, but you could put it on your collarbone or whatever. But I just never go out anywhere funky enough, I guess, to wear something like that. So yeah, it's better to pass it along to someone else who will get some better use out of it. Now this is something that I remember Andrea popped in. Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock, she popped it in with one of the boxes that she'd sent over to me at some point, and it's Technologist tanning drops. Now I thought for sure I couldn't see myself ever getting around to using it because I just don't do self-tanning, but this was one that you just sort of dropped in. I think it was with your moisturizer, so I just popped it on my legs, and I didn't notice the difference, to be honest. Again, probably not enough product in there to actually get any sort of result out of it, but I was happy that at least I didn't throw it away, that I gave it a go, and I know that I would probably never buy it. So but I tried it. So here we've got some more of those Incredi Peels. So that's 4, so that's everything. This is another thing from Wishful. It's the honey whip. I don't really recall anything about it. I don't think I liked it, but I know that I liked the other one with the lavender and that in there. And then I have 3 little samples left, and that was it. So I have absolutely no idea where this came from. It's called Organic Pink Cactus Pudding. I think it was a moisturizer. Anyway, so I used that up. From Dior, I think from memory I didn't like this. It was just a potent serum. It's a super potent serum. And yeah, used it up to get rid of it. But I think, if I'm remembering correctly, had a bit of a scent to it I didn't like, very florally scent. This, on the other hand, Peter Thomas Roth, it's called the Anti-Aging Cleansing Gel. Had a very, almost like what's it called? Here, it's called Fruit Cup. It's a Cotty's, pretty sure Cotty's an Australian brand of cordial. And yeah, we have one called Fruit Cup, which is kind of like it's a citrus, but it's not tangy. It's softer, sweeter. It's hard to explain. More tropical, I guess. That's what this reminded me of. I really did enjoy using it, and would I purchase it again? I possibly would. If I could try and get it on a sale, perhaps, or if I had a gift voucher from Sephora or something, just because, like I said, I'm trying to keep my skincare down to much more affordable products. But should I stumble along another sample, absolutely wouldn't hesitate to use it. I had no issues, no reactions, didn't dry my skin out. Yeah, just in general, I quite enjoyed it. I know not everybody likes his products. I believe that, yeah, if you've got sensitive skin, you might not be able to handle some of his products, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, so that's it. Wow, Okay, well, I made it to 30 minutes, so I'm going to quickly say goodbye, and thank you for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye.